All right, well, whatever. So, yeah, looming. I don't even think these people know what looming looks like. If I asked Andrew Thomas Young, he would describe something that I understand is more like a fata morgana, which isn't looming. And he doesn't have like all of the things. Like if I showed you the compilation of things that I put together for what looming looks like, it wouldn't look anything like what. But then my question is, hey Andrew Thomas Young, where are your pictures that look like mine? Because I actually have pictures that look like the ones that aren't even the ones you took. Like you just got popular, you know, photographers or whatever who captured great, it's beautiful photography. I'm not knocking that. I'm saying that Andrew Thomas Young hasn't done the research that I have, and he's the one standing between progress. Because this information that I have been researching for the past 7 years and continue to read things and just continue to see the fallibility of the program, I can show you my classifications of these phenomena that Andrew Thomas Young describes, but he only can show you pictures of a diagram that's not nature, it's not reality. He shows you a target that you don't ever see out in front of you. But I find that very odd. I don't know why you wouldn't get an authentic picture and say, here's the target with no obstruction, there's the horizon, the target is in front of the horizon, and now it's going to change to this. And this is now looming. And now looming looks like this. But there's no inverted image, but the target in the distance is indistinguishable from what you know it looks like, because the medium through which you were looking is just working just magic. That's the Fata Morgana. Or I mean just like that's just a fairy tale mythological, like there's magic working out there, but it's just nature. And then you show what towering looks like, and then you show what sinking looks like, and then you show what stooping or compression, right? Because sometimes the target is an oil derrick, an oil rig, and then sometimes that oil rig is just like looks like a flat ocean liner with the naked eye. Like, is that an ocean liner out there? I thought that there was hey honey, wasn't there an oil rig out there yesterday? The only thing that ever changes is the condition of the thing through which you are looking between you and the target. And how far away that target is, or how, the position of that target between you and the horizon. If the target is at the horizon, it's going to be so small that there's going to be a lot of things that you won't be able to tell me about unless you can bring that horizon closer to you, and you can do that with a telescope and go, oh, look, there's a dog out there on the horizon. What's beyond the dog? Yeah, right. Just more extension of space. And because where that dog is now looking to, in front of him, and in front of him, and in front of him, and in front of him. And it just keeps, and the higher you get, the farther out you put that angle, that area of electricity that I call the aether band, that area that you're looking through is going to be more and more electrified white noise. Okay. I'm still very interested in testing these claims that you can predict what the conditions of the day are going to produce for you to see out on the horizon. If the sun looks this, like I would say, for instance, if the sun looked intact, it was just a small little dot it raises, whatever, then it's going to be looming. It's going to be this extension of the horizon in the distance, and there's going to be no miraging. However, if the sun is coming up and there's a an aspect like that's like you. How am I going to put this? Right. So this is the sun, right? And now this is the horizon. I'm talking about one. It would be the sun is just coming up like this, and it always looks like this. All right, but it's just this dot out in the horizon. However, sometimes the sun looks like this, right? So it's being obscured by something. Yeah, it's the edge of the earth. No, it's not. It's the edge of the extension of your line of sight due to, and so when you see that the sun is going to be cut in half like that, you know that there's going to be miraging out on the horizon. That's the way I'm interpreting this. Because I've seen enough to understand what it could possibly be. I've just never tied the horizon's presentation of the sun in the morning as an indication of the condition. Like if if I can see an obscured or I'll just say obscured sun, either by being cut in half by the horizon, right? Or having a double image. I can't show you that really, but if you have a double image somehow of the sun coming up, right? It's coming up and it looks like there's two suns, and then it goes like this, like, if you haven't seen this, then you need to get out more, but that indicates then that this is going to be a mirage kind of a day. Otherwise, the sun is just going to come at you from the distance. But I don't think too many of us think along these lines in this way. But I think we should, because I think it is an aspect of expanding your intelligence to take this into consideration. Seriously. All right. So it's the sun and the moon give an infallible indication whether looming or depression will occur. In the latter case, where a mirage happens, it is not round, right? But part of the solar disk is reflected downwards. Like, that's exactly what I was just trying to describe. It's not round like we see it. Okay, so that means that sometimes, right, here's the implication. Are you ready? If someone sees the sun come up bright in the morning, its shape gives an infallible indication whether looming or depression will occur. Depression meaning mirage. In the latter case, when mirage occurs, it is not round, full stop. Meaning, as a contrast, as a point of contrast, when there is no mirage, the sun looks round out there in the horizon, and then it just comes closer to you. But it's not coming up over, you're not falling backwards faster than the speed of sound. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I mean, okay? It is as if at the bottom of the solar disk, even at the part that has risen, the beginning of another disk were placed. And he has seen the same effect with the full moon. As have I. You can look this up online. People have these photos all the time, but they do not have photos of looming. Nobody, I don't think, I challenge you to find 2 or 3 people that are going to be random meteorological, boundary layer capable people, if they could tell you what looming looks like. All right? In addition to inferior mirages, Woltmann saw a few superior ones accompanied by looming. So you have a superior mirage with looming. I find that interesting because as far as I understand Andrew Thomas Young, he doesn't seem to think that these things can happen. Like this condition is that. It doesn't, like you're not going to see this condition in these conditions, right? But here you have this, and I've done this in my own research and published this information, that I do think that these things happen at the same time, because it always is a different position of what you're looking at. He found that sea surface, distant shores, coasts, and sandbanks take on an extraordinary appearance. The sea surface becomes concave. Why do you say that? I have never, ever, 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 ever thought, oh look, it looks concave today. Nope. This is all propaganda. I'm just going to say it. Like, there's no reason to insert concavity here. Because when you look out into the distance, that's your horizon. It doesn't look like this, right? Right to left, it doesn't look like this. It just looks like this. So why do you say that there's this going on and this going on? Why are you saying that? Like, light doesn't do smiley faces of the horizon. It's always as far as you can see, because you can't see forever. That's the only explanation. That's it. You can't see forever. Why can't we see farther than that, Travel? You can't see forever, little boy. But if you want to see farther, just walk out to that point. And guess what? You're never going to get there. It's just going to keep staying in front of you and going and going and going and going. And you're never going to think anything about it. Unless someone comes along and says, hey, you ever wonder why you can't see that far? You're like, yeah, it's too far for me to see. Like, no, the Earth's curved. Like, who told you that? So now we have concavity. It doesn't look concave. It's just a different focal point. It's closer to you, which means that, I don't even know, because I've got images that goes both ways. I have images that have the target just in different positions. My position, if you look at this article, one of the things that the guy says is that, it's really important to take the time to stay in the same place and just photograph throughout the year from that position. I did that. To the accolades of Dr. Nave thrice on my channel, where he says, I just want to let you know that your methodology is spot on. This is how you do science. And I'm like, I know. But I never have ever thought that that looks concave. As opposed to what? When it looks convex, show me that. Because it doesn't. You've now just changed the position of the horizon. Here's what it looks like when it's concave. Here's what it looks like when it's convex. Here's what it looks like when it's concave. Here's what it looks like when it's convex. Like, it... Have you ever seen the world convex or concave? Yes. Every single time. Yeah, but which one's which? Right.